purpose of this video is for me to share some of the helpful habits that I've come across and discovered through the experiments I've run on myself or the studies I've read, with hopes that you guys will be able to take something valuable away from this video and maybe even implement some of this into your own lives. I'm also very aware that I come from extreme privilege and that everything I say is obviously easier said than done, but I've also been at very low points in my life where I felt empty, alone, and just unsure what to do. And it was videos like these that helped really inspire me to get back on my feet, and also that provided a framework for me to actually go and do that. So I'm going to break this video up into 5 different sections or areas of my life, and then within each I'm going to talk about some of the habits that I've been able to pick up on that have made each area easier, and also how they all intertwine in allowing me to live a happy, healthy, meaningful, well-balanced way of life. Be healthy, meaningful, well-balanced way of life. Doesn't that sound like it would be a really interesting, fun video? Well, I think it was, and the funny thing is I spent a couple of hours researching all these scientific studies and articles and trying to find a way to explain how I work 80 to 90 hours a week, and then I realized it was missing something. And it was one thing that sort of puts the whole equation together, and even though I filmed, edited, and made the whole video that I was going to show you guys, that was going to be this video, it was missing something. And when I realized this, I went back out and I found the closest place where there was still sunlight because the sun was setting, and I found this hay bale in this random field that's probably private property, and I sat on the hay bale and I sort of explained the one very important thing that sort of put this whole equation together. But first, I just want to thank this video's sponsor, which is Grammarly. And when Grammarly reached out to me, they're like, we'd love you to talk a little bit more about our paid version. I was like, your paid version? I didn't even know there's a paid version. And so I've been using it for the past couple of weeks to work on my college essays, and oh my gosh, I've been using Grammarly for the past year and a half or so, which has been very helpful because I've sent numerous emails to teachers in the past, or I've been typing up a description for one of my videos, and it's got some of my very simple spelling errors and mistakes, which has been very helpful. So far, Grammarly's digital assistant has helped over 20 million people, and it works seamlessly over all different platforms, whether you're using it on your computer or also even your phone. It's there to help you at the end of the day, and I think that's great. It's wonderful. It's really helped me, and I really hope that you guys can take advantage of this opportunity and technology. But if you'd like to go a step further and start improving your writing instead of just checking for errors, you can use the link in the description, grammarly.com/max. And the best part about Premium is that it helps you advance your writing. It's not just checking for errors, it suggests vocabulary, it has clarity AI, it has tone transformations, and it has a plagiarism checker. So it's giving you feedback that it's helping you improve your writing instead of just the free version, which is fixing and checking for any errors. And so I've been writing college essays over the past couple of weeks, and it's giving me great feedback, suggesting vocabulary words that, make my writing flow better and just be a little more advanced. And also, if I've been doing assignments in school, it's checked, for plagiarism to make sure I'm not, copying anything. So again, if you're interested in downloading it, you can click the link in the description or just type grammarly.com/max to get 20% off Grammarly Premium. So if you do download it and it helps improve your writing and you found it, just overall helpful, I'd love to hear about that. Send me a DM, send me a message. I'd love to hear about the products I'm promoting, being able to have a positive impact on you guys. That's why I'm promoting them. So yeah, with that said, thank you again to Grammarly for sponsoring this video. Let's hop into the one clip that I actually salvaged from the first video that I filmed, because I really liked what I was saying, and I was talking about education and learning. I think there's some really valuable things you can take away from it, and it also, sort of fits into how I'm able to work these certain hours. And yeah, let's just get into it. Enjoy. Unfortunately, it's a really common thing for kids to say, oh, I hate school. And I think for the first 2 years, I sort of prescribed to that way of thinking, and I was like, yeah, in school, all we do is memorize things, and I'm not really learning anything that interesting. I think that sort of corrupted the way I view learning and education. And so when I moved to France, I got really into psychology and reading articles and studies about how I could, build better habits and how I could just make myself into a better version of myself. And I think learning new things, like reading books, reading articles online, has given me, I don't know how to put it exactly, but it gives me energy because it makes me excited about the world. And I think it's one of the best feelings in life is to just have genuine passion for life, to just be like, oh my God, tomorrow's gonna be so exciting. What am I gonna be doing in a year? Where will I be living? What will I know that I don't know today? Or how will my perspective shift, right? And I think learning can take form in, so many different ways. And so every day when I eat my lunch, I probably spend like an hour watching videos on YouTube. And for a while I was like, wow, this is really unproductive. I could be editing while I'm eating. And then one day I was like, what am I talking about? My whole profession is making videos. It's storytelling online. It's finding ways to convey a message in a different, unique way that strikes a chord with someone. I realized, holy cow, watching Casey Neistat at lunch, or Dan Mace, or any of the creators that really inspire me, that's one of the most productive things I could be doing with my time, because that's like studying for me. That's like learning. When I started my YouTube channel, I was self-taught with everything. I didn't learn how to edit. I learned from watching the best people in the industry, right? As humans, we have mirror neurons, right? And that's how we learn things when we are kids. We learn in so many different ways. Watching a Netflix movie could be just as productive as studying a book for 3 hours, because you never know what you can take away from a situation. Last year I was in an AP language class, and one of the quotes my teacher put on the board was, you can't connect the dots looking forward, you can only connect them looking back, right? And that was by Steve Jobs. And what this means, for me, or how at least I interpret it, is maybe I have a video deadline coming up in 10 days and maybe I just want to relax and watch a movie. I think in the past I would have been like, wow, that's really unproductive. But I've been trying to, unwind that way of thinking, and oh, maybe I'll see a really cool scene in that movie, and the way it's shot inspired me to film the video in this certain way. And that's why I don't think we should view work in such a linear way, because it's not time in, time out, right? Everything is connected. There are influences around us in so many different areas. And so when I say I work 100 hours a week, right, that's because I view everything as work, because it's all connected to me, right? If I go for a run for an hour, right, that's brainstorming time. That's me, releasing adrenaline, and that leads to me maybe working harder when I get back home, because I have, a newfound energy within me, and my body feels good. I'm taking care of myself. And if I wasn't running and I was like, oh, exercise isn't productive because it takes time, gradually I'd become less productive because I wasn't taking care of my body. And so if you can sort of build habits in every area of your life, it all connects together, and it's creating sort of the best version of yourself, which is, the ultimate productive thing, right? But it's all work because it's all connected. And this all goes back to education and learning, right? Because if we can learn in all areas of our life, that's, I think, the most important thing we should strive to do, is to learn more about ourselves, to learn more about the world, people around us, and just to be, well-informed individuals in society. And I think that's just something I'm trying to focus on now in my youth, to set me up for whatever it is I'm going to be doing down the line. I think it all comes down to your perspective. I was thinking, like, I'm telling people to do this, I'm giving advice to have these habits, but I think you end up discovering those habits if you have the right mindset. It's not an accident that I started reading articles to improve my life. It's because I wanted to improve my life, but I had the, perspective in the first place that I could make change and I could live a better life and I could have more opportunities. In a perfect world, everyone would be optimistic and relatively positive, but it's not. And I realized maybe that's where I can make a difference, is maybe trying to show a new way of viewing things in life, a new perspective. And I think that is maybe the first domino that people need. And then once you get excited about life and you're optimistic about things, you'll be like, oh, I actually want to help be the best person, or help myself be the best person that I can, because, if I feel good, I'm well rested, I'm learning new things, I'm excited, I'm creating things in my life. I think that puts you in a cycle of wanting to actually help yourself and researching. And I think once you get to that mindset, you'll be fine. And I think it's just getting to that point where you're in the snowball of momentum of wanting to help yourself. That's the hardest part. And I think that's where I underestimated that a lot of people are, because I forget that's where I was, right? Before I moved to France and before I lived in France, I struggled with a lot of these things. I would stay up way too late, I wouldn't feel good, I would just be groggy, I wasn't really doing anything. I think I figured it out just while sitting here. It's what you consume that fills up your thoughts, and your thoughts fill up your mind, and your mind controls who you are, right? So if you control what you consume, you can control how you think and how you act. So if you filter out the negativity in your life and you replace it with positivity and optimism, you will begin to think with a more optimistic perspective, right? And I think that's why some of my videos have really resonated with people, is because my optimistic thinking is refreshing. It sort of gets in your head, right? You know, when I listen to people who are genuinely excited for the world, it makes me excited for the world. And I'm like, holy cow, I forgot life is so exciting. There's so many cool things I can do. And I think this applies to all sectors of your life, right? If you consume healthier foods that aren't full of sugar and processed foods, you will feel better, right? If you consume yourself with quality sleep, you will feel better. It's all about what you bring into your body, and that's what leads to the outputs of who you are, how you think, how you act, how you feel, and all of that. I think the best place to start is controlling what you consume and paying attention to what you consume and how you consume it. And I think if you can read exciting books and novels and stories and listen to people who have innovative ideas, it just makes you so excited for things, because life can be so cool, but life can also be very depressing and awful if you get caught up in the news and the media. And you know, it's all about the balance, right? You shouldn't be naive with your optimism and positivity, because there are awful things that happen in the world. But I strongly believe that the optimistic decision and mindset is the better, I wouldn't say better, but it's what's really helped me, and I think can really help a lot of you. I sort of lost the storytelling aspect of this video because I had it all planned out, and I was just like, let me just talk from the heart. And yeah, I started this channel to document, you know, my life, my feelings, my perspectives, and it's good to bring in information and research and studies, but I don't want it to ever get too scripted, so I'm just trying to keep it genuine with you guys. Even though online presences seem to have this sort of like, I don't know how to put it, but it creates sort of this fake illusion that I live a perfect life. Like, hey, dude, I pulled an all-nighter last week because I forgot to do an English assignment, and I stayed up all night doing it, and I felt terrible the next couple of days. So, dude, by no means am I perfect at all this, but I always try to get back on track and back into my habits, right? And yeah, I just want to make that clear that I struggle too in my life. I don't have this all perfected, but I'm figuring things out, and I want to share these things as I figure them out, because I want to help you guys just as much as I want to help myself. And that's, you know, the journey that we're gonna go on together as I continue to film videos. And yeah, keep me updated in the comment section of this video. Let me know how it's going with all of that. So I will be reading every comment in this video for the next couple of weeks. I will check back in, and I'd love for you guys to check back in with me and just post updates about how it's going for you. If you need advice, create conversations. If you found things that help you, feel free to post it down below. And I think that's the most beautiful part about having a community online, is that we can really help each other, we can really impact each other in great ways. And I think that's all for today. I hope that you guys are doing well, and I'll see you in Perspectopia. A big thank you to my Patreons for supporting my work, giving me great feedback on my videos, and just helping me out. I really do appreciate your support. And yeah, have a great day. Thank you for watching.